The very people who thought they were playing you just realized you were watching them the whole time. See, for a long time, certain people in your life thought they were smooth. They came to you with calculated stories, said excuses and fake emergencies just to get money, resources, or favor out of your hands. They thought they had you completely fooled. They walked away chuckling to themselves, thinking you were naive, soft, and easy to manipulate. But pay attention to what just happened. You didn't react with anger. You didn't start a big argument. And you didn't waste your energy exposing them right away. You helped them, not because you believed their lies, but because of who you are, your clean hands and your pure heart. But now, God has pulled the curtain completely back. You stepped up. Shut down their storyline with pure wisdom and handle the situation in a way that caught them completely off guard. And now they are embarrassed to even look you in the eye because they realize you saw right through them all along. Let's make this plain and simple so everybody can understand. Being kind is never the same thing as being weak. They mistook your silence for ignorance. They thought because you didn't call out every single lie, you were getting fooled. They came asking for money for one thing, using a whole made-up story while you knew in your spirit the exact game they were trying to run. You gave knowingly, not to feed their scheme, but to keep your own conscience clear before God and leave them with zero excuses. Look at how King Solomon handled a situation in the Bible when two women came to him claiming to be the mother of the exact same newborn baby. One of them was lying, making up a whole narrative just to take what wasn't his out of jealousy. Solomon didn't panic, and he didn't get dragged into their argument. He simply suggested cutting the baby in half to share it, knowing the real mother would rather give her child away than see it harmed. The fake mother was fine with destroying the child, while the true mother begged to save its life. That single test exposed the real motives in the room without Solomon having to raise his voice. Proverbs chapter 26 verse 4 and 5 says, "If you answer a silly question, you are just as silly as the person who asked it. Give a silly answer to a silly question, and the one who asked it will realize that he's not as clever as he thinks." Amen. You let them speak their lies, but God gave you the discernment to dismantle their entire plot without raising your voice. Now the dynamic is completely flipped, and the burden of shame is sitting right on their shoulders. They can sense your discernment. Understand what is happening in the spirit right now. The deceivers are now avoiding the very person they tried to target. They can sense the light and authority operating on your life. Notice how quiet they've gotten lately. Notice how they avoid eye contact, duck out of the room, or stop reaching out with their sudden emergencies. They realize you are not their victim. You were operating on a level of wisdom they couldn't even comprehend. Amen. When someone realizes their mind games no longer work on you, their only option left is to back away in embarrassment. Look at what David writes in Psalms chapter 35, verse 7 and 8. He says that without any reason, people laid secret traps for you and dug deep pits to ruin you. But his prayer is clear. Let that very trap catch the person who made it, and let them fall into the same pit they dug for your life. Amen. Their own deception became their downfall. God took the very trap they set to use your generosity against you and used it to show them that you walk with divine insight. Stop feeling guilty for standing your ground and setting hard boundaries. You do not owe your peace, your hard-earned resources, or your time to people who only view you as an opportunity to exploit. God has given you sharp eyes, an alert spirit, and spiritual authority to protect what He has placed in your hands. Walk with your head held high, knowing that every manipulative spirit attached to your life has been completely exposed and neutralized. Stand strong right now and decree these words out over your life. Amen. I decree, God has given me the spirit of discernment, wisdom, and clarity to see right through every scheme of the enemy. I declare I am no longer a target for manipulation, and every fake narrative formed against me is completely crushed. I choose to walk with clean hands, guard my peace, and keep my heart protected from users and deceivers. If you know God has given you the wisdom to see through the games and walk in authority, type this in the comments right now. No more manipulation. Amen. Keep your head high. Stay wise as a serpent and as harmless as a dove. And watch how God protects your peace. Amen. Stay blessed. Stay strong. Amen.